Welcome back. We've just created a vegetable tempura. Now we're going to move on to make a stirred fried rice. To do that, I've already pre-cooked about 3 cups of rice. That's a lot of rice, so we're going to make a lot of fried rice. I cooked it in a rice cooker because I have one. If you don't have one, you can use just any old stove or boiling saucepan kind of deal and cook rice that way. You can use any white rice. There's some different rices. Long white rice is just a regular rice. We've got a really short grained white rice. That makes it a little more sticky. I really like sticky rice. It's just a personal preference. Use a regular long grain jasmine rice if you want to. But to that we're going to add about half of a cup of soy sauce. Not going to add quite all of it, and a little bit of water, about the same amount, probably 1-to-1 ratio. And we're going to mix that up and kind of turn the rice a different color. Since this is really sticky rice, it'll help break it up, and then in the frying pan it'll also help. So we'll keep doing this for a second, and as it kind of gets mixed up, you may want to add the rest of your soy sauce and water. The goal is to kind of get a good tannish brown color on the rice, so that's what I'm working towards. We'll go ahead and finish this out. From there we're going to kind of move this over to the stove. We're not going to go straight onto the stove yet because I'm going to get ready and prep some mushrooms. I'm going to add these to the sink. To do that, we've just got some whole mushrooms, some wild mushrooms. We're going to just kind of dice them up, chop them up real small. Traditionally, fried rice has mushrooms and peas and carrots. We don't have any peas and carrots right now because we used all our carrots for tempura, and we shouldn't have done that. And peas we are just not into right now. I don't really like them. If you don't like them, don't use them. We're going to mince these up, make them kind of small chunks. I'm going to do a few more mushrooms. Mushrooms are kind of fun because a lot of people think they taste like dirt, and well, frankly they do. They come out of the ground. They've got some dirt taste to them. They actually hold no nutritional value for you. So they're kind of pointless in many people's eyes. In my eyes, they kind of are too. But they taste pretty good if you like dirt. Since we're doing an Asian food show, you could use a shiitake mushroom or any of the Japanese mushrooms. We're just using regular wild mushrooms. We'll grab those right now, actually, out of the fridge. We'll move these off. These things are kind of dirty, you know. I don't claim to have a real clean kitchen all the time. I mean, for sanitary reasons, you got to keep it clean, but when you're cooking, don't worry about spilling stuff or getting it every which place. We'll move these over towards our rice. And out of the fridge, we've got some shrimp and some chicken that's been marinating in a lemon sauce or any salad dressing, any lemon salad dressing or whatnot. So we're going to take out the chicken, and we're going to take about a breast of chicken and cut it up into slightly larger chunks. Now, technically, cutting any meat on a cutting board a wooden cutting board is a no-no. So we're getting these in maybe 1/4-inch sized chunks. It's recommended to cut any meat on a glass cutting board or surface. Wood is too porous, that's why they tell you not to use it. I'm going to move on to some shrimp now. Rinse my hands a little bit. Grab a different knife, just because I don't like using the same knife. We're going to peel off the tails. You can either break them or cut them. I'm going to cut them just because I like cutting things. But do that to the rest of your shrimp as well. And we'll move over to the cutting board or to the oven and get a stir frying. All right, so we've finished with most of our shrimp. We're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna drop the knife off and rinse off a little bit. We're gonna move, we've got a saucepan or a frying pan. You can use a wok, that's actually what you're supposed to use. I'm using just a big skillet that we use the tempura in. I've got a little bit of the oil left over in it. We're gonna use pretty medium-high heat, so we're gonna move over and cook the shrimp first. To do that, I'm just going to lay this over here. Get these bad boys out of the way. Into this, we're just going to add the shrimp. It'll take a little while for the shrimp to cook. When that's done, we'll take them out and start the chicken. The chicken will then cook. Then we'll take the chicken out and we'll add the rice, and then we'll add the shrimp and the chicken and the mushrooms all back to that. So give this a second and we'll let it cook, and we'll do that cool fast motion deal. All right, so we finished out the chicken and the shrimp. It's pretty much cooked and ready to go. I've got 2 Komodo dragon eggs. We're gonna crack those and add those straight to the pan. And I actually got a little shell in there because I'm no good. And we'll get that out. No one likes a crunchy egg. Luckily there are no dragons in these eggs. From that, we're just going to kind of scramble them up a little bit. The oil will kind of act to fry the egg a little bit. It's kind of gooey and messy. You know what? It's fried rice. It's going to be all over the place, but it'll be good. Now we're going to move on and add some mushrooms to these eggs. You may think I'm making an Asian omelet. I'm not. Mix these bad boys up. Okay, so before the eggs have totally cooked, I'm just going to add all that rice that we've already mixed in with soy sauce and whatnot. All right. You want to make sure you mix this all up really good. Since I'm using extra sticky rice, it's kind of difficult to work with sometimes. You know what? It'll be okay. Just work it out. If your rice feels a little dense, what you can do is you can come back and add a little bit more soy sauce. That's allowed. I can do that. It's Asian. Just add some soy sauce. If you're really concerned with sodium, get the sodium-free soy sauce. Soy sauce tends to have a lot of rice in it. With that, we're going to add our chicken and our shrimp. And guess what? A little more soy sauce. When we come back, we'll move on to a Japanese shrimp sauce that'll go really good with this rice. and our tempura. So I'll see you then.